Hello, and welcome to using primary source documents in the classroom. My name's Deb Byrne, and I'll be your instructor for this course. Well, if you're listening to this screencast right now, it means that you've logged in and you've already looked at this announcements area, which gives you the welcome message for the beginning of the course, tells you the purpose of the course and the objectives, and starts to give you a little bit of directions on how to navigate your way through this course module. Down here at the bottom of the page, you can see that you were directed to move on to Introduction and Orientation in the Assignments area. Well, the Assignments area is found over here on the left-hand toolbar, and if you're listening to this screencast, you've found that by now. But what I wanted to point out is this is the primary means of navigating this course module. And the assignments area is pretty much where all of the content for this course is. Exceptions to that are our discussions on the discussion board. And every time you log in, you will log in, and the first thing you'll see, just like today when you logged in for the first time, you'll see the announcements screen. And that's we can kind of think of that as home base. That's always where you're going to start when you log in. It will default to this screen. So anything new that I have to say to you, any directions that I have, that'll all be here, so that you'll see that first thing when you log in. Once you check that out, then you would go into the assignments area to move on to the next course module. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is the Introduction and Orientation. Okay. Now, the Introduction and Orientation area asks you to watch this screencast that you're watching now, and also to read through the Library of Congress's Teaching with Primary Sources overview on their website. We're going to be using a number of resources from the Library of Congress in this course module. They are the gold standard in teaching educators how to use primary sources in their classroom. So they have a lot of great resources that we're going to use. So after you do these two things, you would go back to the assignments area. Well, actually, before you did that, you see there was a reflection. So you would go to the discussion board area, find the title of the module that we're in, and go right into that discussion board area and create a thread, and you would create an original new post with your reflection, and then you can reply to each other in that same thread. So I'm going to go back one step. We were in the assignments area, so I just left the discussion board. I'm back here at Mission Control in the assignments area. And when you're ready, you can then move on to Module 1. And if you scroll down the screen, you'll see every module is basically set up the same way. There are materials for you to look at. There's a screencast for every module, and they'll be available as we go along. And there's activities and reflections set up. The reflections are always going to take place in the discussion board area. Now, I just mentioned that, as you're ready, we go through each module. Well, this course is self-directed, but at the same time, we kind of need to keep somewhat of an even pace with each other so that we can have some meaningful discussions and learn from each other. So in the course document area over here on your left-hand toolbar, there is a course syllabus, and that will give you some of the timing of how we're going to move our way through these modules. It's basically one module per week, save for the last module, which really extends over 2 weeks, because that's where you're going to be making a draft lesson plan. So assignments you will have each week, which will basically direct you to the discussion board, or I might ask you to post something to the messages area. And again, announcements is your home base. And that's about it for the overall orientation on how to navigate this website. Please send me any questions that you might have.